Mhm. Welcome. Welcome to Adapted Stories for Adults and Teens. I'm Linda with the Children's Department at Surrey Libraries, and I'm so glad you could join me today. Should we sing a song? Well, if you join me, that'd be great. And did you know that there's a hormone in our bodies called serotonin, and if we sing together, or if you sing alone, but with me, that serotonin level goes up and you feel happier. So let's get happy together and sing. The more, that's right, that's the American Sign Language for more. The more we get together, 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 the more we get together, the happier we'll be. 'Cause your friends are my friends and my friends are your friends. The more we get together, the happier we'll be. Great. I could almost hear you singing there. That's great. So I have a small story, a short story about a mother mouse. The mother mouse was with her babies and they were walking down the street. And they met a great, big, enormous, that's the sign for cat, that's right. The mother, mouse, was scared. And the baby mice were even scareder. But the mother, that's right, mother mouse, was brave. And she said to that cat, "Arr, arr, arr," pretending to be a dog. Then she said to her babies, "Help me, help me." And the baby mice went, "Arr, arr, 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 arr." The great enormous cat, thinking that they were all dogs, ran away. And the mother mouse said, "There's a lesson in this, my babies. It's always good to have a second language." That's the sign for language, making L's. Always good to have a second language. Isn't that the truth? Now, the second story I have, you could help me out with this too. It's about a rooster in a country called Turkey. Now, there is people living, it's a country, Turkey, today, but in the time of this story, the little rooster and the diamond button, Turkey was ruled by a sultan. He was the richest person. He had so many servants. In fact, he had 3 servants just to hold up his big baggy pants so they wouldn't drag on the ground. He was the richest, most powerful person in the whole land. And by contrast, the turkey, the rooster in the land of Turkey, the rooster, and the person who looked after him, his mistress, were probably the poorest people in Turkey. So his mistress didn't have money for rooster food, so every day he had to peck out worms or bugs to eat, grain on the ground, that's right. And one day he was so lucky. In the dirt he found a diamond. It was a diamond button. Some rich person had had their coat all diamond buttons, but I guess one of them got lost and fell off. So the rooster was so happy. He had the diamond button in his mouth, and he was just going off to home to tell his mistress that they were rich. And at the very same time, the Turkish Sultan was walking along with his 3 servants behind him, holding up his big baggy pants. He was a big guy too. And he said to his servants, "Take that diamond button from the rooster and put it in my treasure chamber. It's mine now." And that's what they did. Those 3 servants took the rooster's diamond button and put it in the Sultan's treasure chamber in his palace. Well, that rooster wasn't happy. He flew to the Turkish Sultan's palace and he perched on the windowsill and he said, and this is where you can help me tell the story too. What does the rooster do? Cock-a-doodle-doo. That's right. But he wasn't happy. He wasn't a happy rooster. He was a mad rooster. Cock-a-doodle-doo. And then he said, Turkish Sultan, give me back my diamond button. When the Turkish Sultan saw that rooster demanding his button, he was mad. He said to his servants, take that rooster and find the deepest well with the fullest water you ever saw and throw the rooster in the water in the well. That will get rid of him. And that's what his servants did. They took the poor rooster and they found a deep well and they just threw the rooster in the well. But the rooster had a secret. He had a magic stomach. And he said, come, my magic stomach. You can help me out with this too. Come, my magic stomach. Swallow all the water in the well. And that's what his magic stomach did. He didn't drown. He didn't even get wet. Instead, he flew to the Turkish Sultan's palace and he perched on the windowsill and he said, cock-a-doodle-doo. Are you helping me? Cock-a-doodle-doo. Turkish Sultan, give me back my diamond button. When the Turkish Sultan saw that rooster back again, he was so furious. He said to his servants, take this rooster and build a big fire, the biggest fire you ever built, and throw the rooster in the fire so he will burn to death. And that's what they did. They made a big fire and they took the poor rooster and they threw him in the fire. But the rooster said, help me, guys. Come, my magic stomach. Come, my magic stomach. He said, spit out all the water from the well and put out the fire. And that's what his magic stomach did. It spit out all the water from the well. It put the fire out. And instead of being burned, he flew back to the Turkish Sultan's palace and he perched on the windowsill and he said, cock-a-doodle-doo, Turkish Sultan, give me back my diamond button. Well, when the Turkish Sultan saw that rooster once again unburned, alive, he said to his servants, take this rooster, fully enraged, he said, take this rooster and find the biggest beehive in the whole land of Turkey and stuff that rooster in the beehive so he'll get stung to death. And that's what his servants did. They took the poor rooster and they stuffed him in the biggest beehive they could find. Well, what did the rooster say? He said, come, my magic stomach. Come, my magic stomach, swallow all the bees in the beehive. And that's what his magic stomach did. Remember, it was magic. Every single bee was in his stomach. He didn't get stung inside or out. Instead, he flew to the Turkish, that's right, the Turkish Sultan's palace, and he perched on the windowsill. What did he say? Cock-a-doodle-doo, Turkish Sultan, give me back my diamond button. When that Turkish Sultan saw that rooster alive and demanding his button again, he was furious. He said to his servants, take that rooster and he was out of ideas. He said to his 3 servants, what would you do to get rid of this rooster? The first servant said, well, if it was me, I'd take a big rope and I'd tie it around the rooster's neck and I'd hang him from the highest tree. The second servant said, if it was me, I'd dig a big hole in the ground and I'd put the rooster in the hole and I'd put the dirt over top of it and then I'd stomp on it. And the third servant said, if it was me, I would take that rooster and I would put him in the big bag behind your pants and I would sit on him and squash him. In his wisdom, the Sultan said, what a great idea. That's just what he did. He took that poor rooster and he stuffed him in the big bag behind his pants, and he sat on him to squash him. Instead of being squashed, the rooster said, "Come, my magic stomach, come, my magic stomach, spit out all the bees and sting the Turkish Sultan." Do you think the Turkish Sultan got stung? Oh, 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 ow, ow. The Turkish Sultan said to his servants, "Take this rooster, show him the treasure chamber, let him get his diamond button. I don't want to see him or his button anymore." And that's what the servants did. They took him to the treasure chamber in the palace and they said, "Get your button and get out of here." But when the rooster saw all the treasure, his diamond button was there, but so many other diamonds, gold and silver. Ooh, what other things could there be in a treasure chamber? Jewelry. Can you imagine? That's right. The little rooster said, "Come, my magic stomach, come, my magic stomach, swallow all the treasure in the treasure chamber, all of it." And that's what his magic stomach did. Every single, that treasure chamber didn't even have gold dust in it. It was completely bare. And him and his magic stomach flew back to his mistress. And they lived happily and richly ever after. Thanks for listening. And thanks for being here with me at the Adapted Stories for Adults and Teens. I hope you can join me again and Susan Monday and Friday mornings. We're so happy that we can do these stories, and so happy that you can join us. Take care of each other, take care of yourself, and see you next time. Bye.